Hey people, welcome to the Run Testers, and in this video we are talking about the joy of socks, running socks to be precise. Now, no matter if you're chasing fast marathon times or you just enjoy getting out for general fitness and feeling good, a reliable pair of running socks is an essential in your kit drawer. And while you don't have to spend loads to get a good pair, it pays to hunt out running socks that feel great on your feet and maybe even help ward off those blisters. Now, here at the Run Testers, we've tested probably hundreds of different socks over the years from dozens of brands, big and small. And in this video, we've each picked our favourites. There are so many socks out there, it's quite hard to whittle down that big list. But if you want to know which tried and tested running socks we turn to time and time again, you've come to the right place. So I'm going to hit you with three of my absolute staples really quickly. The first one are Brave Endurance Performance socks. These are a long-time favourite of mine. These are great all-rounders. I love them for the different designs you can get. There's loads of different cool designs. I've rotated half a dozen pairs over the past 3 years. I use them to run nearly 1,800 miles along the Danube. And you can see by how faded these are that they've swallowed a lot of miles. And one of the biggest things is their fantastic durability, but they also offer brilliant comfort. These are top socks. They're on the old video I did. Second up, I've got the Stance Performance Run Crew. These are some of my favourites. I always choose these if they're clean. I love the crew cut, but they're also just a nicely balanced sock. They're on the thicker side overall, but it's not overdone. There's just lovely padding underfoot in the right places. Good wicking, excellent durability. I definitely reach for them on longer runs, while I might go for something thinner and shorter for those sort of shorter, faster runs where I'm using race fit shoes particularly, but overall I love these socks. Finally, I've got these Sepp reflective mid-cut socks. Sepp socks feature stripes of reflective yarn that are stitched in to make you more visible when you're striding through the darkness. These ones are silky, snug, and the padded zones on the toes and on the heels offer just the right comfy thickness, I think. The lighter weave up top also helps add breathability for warmth without sweatiness. These are somewhat thinner and work better with racier fitting shoes too, but you still get the comfort underfoot. Now, those three are excellent socks that I picked out actually last time we brought you our favourite socks last year. That video is still on the channel if you want to go and check that. They're all still going strong in my sock lineup a year later, so thumbs up on durability. And despite having probably 150 pairs of socks, I'll often still choose those first. But I've also added a few new favourites from my testing this year, and the first of those are these. These are Smartwool run socks. Now, if you're after merino running socks, Smartwool has a very strong selection, though they're not 100% natural materials. Many of them mix merino with other synthetic materials, like in these ones you've got nylon and elastane, to give you the best of both worlds, where you get soft, natural feeling, quick drying, but with this kind of stretch and durability too. Now, one pair from the range that I've reached for recently are the Smartwool Run Cold Weather Crew. A few things I love here. There's lots of soft padding in the heels and the toes, what Smartwool calls targeted cushioning, but it's just thicker material basically for some added plushness and comfort. Now, the bits that go up the legs are nice and thin enough to sit nicely under leggings. The cuffs hold without digging in. There's virtually no seam in the toes here, at least no rigid seam, so that works to kind of avoid irritation. They dry fast, they tend to stink less, even if you don't wash them every run. They come in mainly dark colours as well, which are a little more forgiving if you're going to be running the muddy trails. Now, my second edition of the Sepp Cold Weather Compression Mid-Cut, another sock that blends merino with synthetic materials. These Sepp socks are towards the thicker end for running socks and run somewhat warmer, which is great for the winter as long as they don't overheat, which I found that these don't. So they've been one of my go-tos when temperatures start to drop. I like the close-fitting feel that's really padded in all the right places, but not overweight. And the mix of polyamide wool and spandex seems to be great at fending off hot spots, which is key for longer runs. The toes are seamless too, so no irritation there. And the mid-cut collars stay put without biting. If you want a thick sock for plush comfort and good breathable warmth, then I think these are spot on.
Hi runners, I'm Laura. I've got 3 pairs of socks for you, one cheap and 2 a little bit fancier. First off, this is the Soar ankle run sock. It's this is red, but it comes in lots of different colours. I'm not a big merino sock person, so this is synthetic. A lot of stretch in it. It's very comfy, a lot of padding around the heel, very comfortable heel on this. It's like more than double the thickness of the rest of the sock. Stays in place running, looks nice on. You've got the little Soar brand in there that on your on your ankle, or a bit higher than ankle. It's a nice sock. It's £18, which was surprising to me. I was expecting maybe to be able, you know, it's not cheap for a sock, but I was expecting maybe a bit more. But nice sock if you like the brand and you want it on your ankle. There you go. There's a nice red pair, plenty of other colours. Second sock I have is the Brooks Carbonite running sock. This one is as part of the Run Visible range, so this is a little reflective. You can see my light is making that reflective. In the daylight you wouldn't see that, it just seemed like a dark coloured sock, but in the when you're out running and you catch the headlights of a car, it's got that on the front and the back of your ankle, so that will be picking up the light as you're running along. So that's a nice little easy touch there to just pull on and have a little bit of reflectiveness on your ankles. So comfortable sock, works fine as a sock. It stays on your foot, didn't move about, good amount of stretch, and that is £20. So I think for, you know, if you think that little lights or little reflective straps that you might put on your body would cost that themselves, so there you go. They have been through the wash, obviously, because I've worn them a couple of times, and the reflectiveness still going well. And finally, I have given these socks I mentioned before. Always buy these myself. Carrymore ankle run socks. I ran cross country at the weekend. We had to do a water feature. We had to cross a swollen river twice. It was more than ankle deep. Are you going to run that sort of race in a £20 plus sock? I'm not. I ran in these and then I forgot to take them out of my bag, and they were a bit, not this exact pair, they were a bit stinky, but that's when I'm going to be wearing them. I'm going to be splashing through muddy puddles, going for my trail runs with a pair of Carrymore socks, because these are £12.99 for a pack of 2. Actually, they're not even that much, because usually if you go in Sports Direct, you will get them cheaper than that. They're usually on some sort of offer, but the most expensive I've seen them priced is £12.99 for a pack of 2, which works out, what, £6.50 per pair of sock. Yeah, I've got loads of them all around, so they're easy, you know. They're probably not even paired anymore, because the lefts and the lefts and the rights get mixed up, but they're cheap and they do the job, and I don't get blisters with them. That's it. That's all you need to know about Carrymore socks. Definitely every runner should have at least one pair in their cupboard.
So I've gone for 3 very much tried and tested sets of socks for my picks, and the first of those is the Stance Crew sock. I've been using and enjoying Stance running socks for ages now, probably over 5 years, and I've still got some pairs I got right at the start of that period that are still good for running. They have stiffened up a fair bit through lots of washing, but they're still comfortable once you get them on and start running. So they are certainly very durable socks. They come with a good guarantee to back you up on that. They come in a nice wide range of designs. These are the Gully socks with a nice pattern they've got on them there. Lots of tie-ins with TV shows and stuff like that. Comfortable, padded, dry very quickly after long runs, just everything you really want in running socks. At £17 or $20, they're not the cheapest socks in the world, but they are very durable, and I often find you can get them for deals around Christmas and Black Friday. They're often things that I get for other people as Christmas gifts, actually, so I've noticed that. Then my second pick are Sporks' socks. I've talked about these in some race videos because I really like using these socks in particular for racing, because they are really, really thin and lightweight and breathable, which is great, obviously, if you're going to be pushing hard, especially in hot conditions, but also if you have racing shoes with a slightly tighter fit than your regular running shoes, it's nice to have a really thin sock like this. Again, there's loads and loads of designs of these. I've got some Panda ones that are my particular favourite for racing, but I'm not sure they're still available, but there are some Stars and Stripes ones I've got there, and just loads of different designs, basically. They cost £17 in the UK, $22. A lot of them are billed as cycling socks, but I've used some of their cycling range for running as well, and they're perfectly fine, but there are also running socks on the website. Like I say, they're very lightweight, really good for hot runs and racing. Not as durable as some other socks because they are so thin, especially on the top of the sock, and I've wrecked a pair with a couple of cross-country races before, but in general, yeah, really good option if you like a very thin, lightweight sock for your running. Then my last pick is the Sepp Ultralight Compression Sock. I used compression socks for a lot of this year from spring into summer. I had some slight mild lower leg issues, little niggles that I felt that compression socks are helping with, probably all a placebo effect, but I really liked using them for long runs in particular as I trained to do my first ultra distance event. And yeah, they're really comfortable. They're very thin and lightweight. They're not very cheap. They're £48 or $60, but I've tested quite a few compression socks at a range of price points this summer, and these are the standouts. I used them for an 8-hour 80k run in the summer. I'd also done lots of short, fast runs in them as well, and when I was using compression socks for all my races, I raced at half marathon distance and shorter distances in these socks as well. They've got a good supportive amount of compression without feeling too claustrophobic or thick or anything like that, so they are really good for those faster runs if you do use compression socks and like to use them for your races or training in general as well. So yeah, that's the Sepp Ultralight Compression Socks. I also like the standard Sepp The Run Socks 4.0, I think, but the slightly lighter weight fabric you get here I do prefer, especially using for races.
I am going to start my sock recommendations with a real old favourite. They have been going for years. I did one of this brand in our last year's sock recommendations, but I'm going for a slightly different version this time, and that is couldn't find it, is the Runderwear dual layer sock. Now you can see from the colour of this that it's been through the wash quite a few times, but these are amazing. They are properly dual layer, like you can pull them apart and you think that would really rub, but actually it doesn't. There you go. They're really durable. These have been going forever. They've got no signs of wear. They've got this tab that stops them slipping down, and they've just got thick heels and thick toes, and then fairly light in the middle with a bit of structure along here. They're just really good socks that last for absolutely ever and don't give you blisters and are very comfortable. And you can get them in a multi-pack, which makes them cheaper. Hooray! Number 2 is a new brand to me this year. Wyn, I think it's pronounced, U-Y-N. They are a kind of cycling-y brand, I think. They're based in Italy, and they specialised in circular knitted 3D seamless garments. Some of the guys from the Run Testers went to see their factory. You can see videos about that on the site as well. But these are their Runners One socks. They are super lightweight in the middle. And then they have these reinforced sections that run just under where the laces come, and also just around the ankles, and then thicker heels and thicker toes, and then light around the ankles here again, and then a bit thicker at the top to hold them in place. As I say, it's a new brand to me. I really like their stuff. I've got some cycling gear with them, which is brilliant, but not for this channel, obviously. And they're on sale at the moment. So that is the Wyn, or UYN, Runners One sock. And finally, if you're feeling deja vu, then you are right, because this is the Belega No Show hidden contour sock, or just the Belega No Show sock. And I recommended this last year, and you can see it's still going strong. No wear, it's still the one that I reach for every single time. Again, I love these tabs that run around the back because they really stop your socks from slipping down, especially when you're wearing like race-like trainers that don't have much structure around the heel. It's got a really padded heel, really padded toe, but it doesn't get in the way. And it's just a great sock that keeps on going. They're a South African company. They make all their socks in either South Africa or California with American thread. And they do various different community projects as well. They work with Back on My Feet, which helps homeless individuals to reintegrate into society and help them kind of achieve things through being active. And they work with various other projects as well. So they're a really good company to get involved with, and their socks are just like excellent workhorse socks that you can race in or train in or whatever. And yeah, I mean, these have been going strong for well over a year, and there's no way they're going anywhere at the moment. So I couldn't help but recommend them again. Finally, in my whistle-stop tour of socks, I've got a couple of honourable mentions, if that's all right, that I'm going to sneak in. So these are the Inertor socks, which only arrived 2 days ago. So I can't really recommend them fully because I've not tested them for that long, but so far I really like them. It's a new company to me. They also make insoles and things. These are their Energy Run socks. They are super, super light. You can really see your hands through them but they're structured around, again, like structured around the heels, nice tab around the back and the front so they don't slip, and you don't get rub under the tongue either. So, you know, everything you want from a sock. The only thing I would say is they look like the kind of socks that you get given in one of those bouncy castle or trampoline parks that you go to with kids. So I'm not a massive fan of the colourway, but I can get behind the design, and I think again they've been great racing socks because they're so light and breathable. They also reckon there's some kind of like Nillet energy infrared technology going on with them in the thread. I don't understand the science about that, but I will say that they are good socks to run in so far, and I am looking forward to putting lots more miles in these. And then finally, it's something which isn't technically a sock. It's the CEP. It's their compression planter sleeve. Something which has featured highly in my year with planter woes, and they've just been really useful. They just give a bit more support. Obviously they're not really a sock because they don't come over your toes, but they give some great support under your foot while you're running, and you can wear them with socks and they don't get in the way too much, or just around the house for a bit of extra support. So I just thought I'd throw that in there because it doesn't really fit into any other category.
So there you have it. That's our list of tried and tested running socks. We hope that's been useful. If so, we'd really appreciate a like, maybe a share to another runner, or go full tilt and hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. That really helps us keep testing and bringing you the best multi-tester running kit advice on the internet. Now, speaking of advice, if you have any killer sock recommendations, help your fellow Run Tester viewers out by sticking them in the comments below. Otherwise, it's been a pleasure chatting to you, and we hope to see you again soon on the Run Testers. Happy running, everyone.